have you guys back. Now there's this vehicle that's Camry, 2005 Toyota Camry. The vehicle has power window issue. That is the driver's door. And this one is a bit tricky because the power window works, and after a while it stops. Then if you allow it for a while, it starts working. In fact, let me just demonstrate it so that you guys will see. So as you can see, it barely works complete cycle. It might go up, but once it's coming down, it stops. It hardly comes down and still go up again. So we'll just have to bring out the power window motor. It's inside this door. We'll bring it out, and I will show you how you can fix that. It's right inside the motor. There's a panel inside the motor that we're going to correct. So walk with me. So we'll start by getting this door carpet out. There are some screws in strategic places that keeps it intact. So let's lose those screws. Carefully lose them out and take note of where they're actually coming out from. So let's do this. There's a screw hidden here. Because this is the control. It has the mirror control as well as the power window control. And this is for that of the mirror. So we remove the electrical harness. And this is for that of the power windows, the 4 doors. So just have to be careful while prying out the harness, the electrical harness. So there's a screw hidden here, as you can see. Just take note of where these screws are coming out from, because they have different lengths. Like when you are coupling it back, we don't have problem. There are some other hidden screws under here. Yes, about 2. So let's bring them out as well. So once we get this door mat out of the way, we can now have access to the power window motor. I think this should be the last screw. So you gently pull out this door carpet firmly, but not too hard, because there is a cable behind here. That's the cable. This cable is very fragile. If you're not careful, you get it broken. One is for locking the doors, and the other one is for opening the door. So you just have to be careful so you don't damage this cable. So this is where the motor is. That is the electrical harness for the power window motor. And Okay, let's take off this speaker, because we need to take out this speaker so that we can have access to the bolts holding the glass. The glass has to go out before we can bring out the electric motor. So there are 4 screws holding the speaker. As you can see, we bring out this speaker now after losing out the 4 screws. So now look at the bolts holding the electric motor. There are about 6 of them. So yes, so let's lose out these bolts. 10 bolts, 10 millimeter bolt. Always take note of the things you are losing, so that when you are coupling, it will be easier for you. Oh, I almost forgot. We have to bring down the glass and lose out the glass first. So I have to plug back this electric motor. I hope it works. It has stayed for a while. I think it will work. Just have to let us just bring it down a little, so we can have access to the bolt holding the glass. I didn't put that of the mirror because we're not working with the mirror. So that's the electrical harness for the power window motor. Okay, it's down. As you can see, there are 2 bolts. So let's lose out those 2 bolts. T10 millimeter bolts. So when you are losing the second one, just have to be careful, okay? The mirror will not fall out. It's fixed into the mechanism, it won't fall out. That's the mechanism. So this can be very difficult, but you just have to pull it out, the glass now. Pull out the glass just like I'm doing right here. Pull it out. Be careful so that you don't damage the glass. So find a safe place and keep it. Then we proceed, and we can bring out the power window motor. Like I said, these are the bolts holding the motor. So you saw what happened there? While I was losing it, the motor fell down, but not to worry, nothing is going to happen to the motor. So this is the last bolt. That's it. You can see the motor inside. We're going to bring it out from this part of the door. Careful when you do this, so that you don't hurt yourself. Okay. Wow, so this is the motor. This is the mechanism. And the mechanism is screwed into the motor. That's the motor there. So there are 3 screws that is holding the motor. Yes. So let's bring out the screws. So the mechanism will come out on its own, and the motor will be on its own. Our interest is in the motor. There's a panel inside this motor that we want to, fix, so that issue of intermittent working of the glass will stop. So while using it, you just also have to be careful. This mechanism is so you see what happened here. You just have to be careful. I should have held the motor and the mechanism firmly, because there's a spring here that keeps it intact. So after losing those screws, the mechanism spring had to shoot out. So that's how the motor fits into the mechanism. So not to worry, our point of interest is in that motor itself. So we'll keep this mechanism one place and lose this motor. There are still some screws holding the motor intact, so we'll lose the screws. But first I have to do a marking that when I'm bringing out, when I'm coupling it back, and couple it well. So always ensure that you have an eye on how to couple it back. These things can be easy to lose, but difficult to couple back. So we'll lose the screw. There is a knot under each of the screw that tightens the screw. Sometimes it can fall off, so you make sure that if it's going to fall out, you bring it out yourself and keep safely. Try for each of the screw. There's always a knot under the screw that holds the screw down. This is the last screw. Okay, this one came out. The others refused, so the others will not fall out. So let's bring it out now. Let's see inside this motor. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So this is the armature. This is the armature. It fits into this particular spot. And it turns while it works. The electric brush will now give it power. Now this is the panel. This is our interest point. Please take note. This is the panel. This panel, when it heats up, it stops working. The glass stops working. So some folks will use lead and solder there so that the electric current will be flowing from this point to the other point. That's what some folks do. You can also use a copper wire and connect the two extreme points from this point that I'm bringing out to the other point. What you just want to do is that this panel, there's flow of current from one point to the other. That is just what the problem is. So instead of going to buy a new motor, you can actually use this. So we in Africa, we don't like wasting parts because we hardly see these parts. So you can see I've done the connection. I've connected the wire, the copper wire, from one point to the other. Now it's now time for me to fix the armature. So you pull back the brush so the armature can enter without breaking the brush. Put some grease that when it turns freely without any stoppage. So once the armature is fixed inside, you also have to pull out the brush, and as you can see me doing. So you pull out the brush so it has contact with the armature. That is what we send the electric current into it. So try and prevent the cover from touching it, because the cover has an earth current while the brush has a positive current. And you turn and be sure that the armature is turning very well. So just to couple it back, we've done the magic, and we hope that it will work. I believe it will work. So let's couple it back. Yeah, let's couple it back, and just ensure that everything is okay and you couple back. Coupling this can be tricky. There's a magnet inside this cover, so sometimes it will be pulling your hands, but with a firm grip on it, you get it fixed well. That's why you have to mark it first. If you don't mark it, if you pass through that and you did not fix it well, you have to bring it out again and the armature will come out because of that magnet. So mark how it fits in, as in the facing. But when you are fixing it, it will be easier for you. You don't have to do it 2 times. Okay, so let's couple this. The grease is still in my hands. Okay, so just about going the part we took while losing it, you just go through that part again as if you are like rewinding. So it's a bit straightforward. The main thing has been done. Always ensure that you tighten the screws very well so that everything will be nice and work properly. So let's test this to be sure that our connection inside is okay. Let's test it. Let's see whether it will turn. So this is the power window motor. Actually, with the help of the mechanism, raise the glass up and down. Let's see whether it works. Wow, it's working. Okay, so that means our connection is okay. Wow, nice job. Okay, so like I said, you just go through those processes that you went when you were bringing out the power window motor. Put back the mechanism. Like I said, there's spring here. It can be very tough, but with a firm grip, you set it up well and tighten it. Just have to make your grip to be very firm, and it can be very hazardous. So make sure that you work with safety in view. All right. So as you can see, I have it well placed. So we put the screw. So you can see it has been tightened. So it's time for us to fix it back into the door. So you just have to look at how it fits into the door, get it well positioned so that you can couple it back. It's a tricky one, but it's something that if you observe very well, you wouldn't have a problem. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. So we fix it now. Careful, these things can be very sharp. If you don't place your hand very well, you might have a cut. And trust me, you wouldn't want to have a cut. When you have a cut while doing this job, you will not enjoy the job anymore. Okay, so let's use this to guide the others. Okay, so the place where we fix the electrical harness is out, so others can fit in. That's it. We've done it. It's now time for us to test what we've done to see whether it will be working intermittently. It's going down. Okay, let me fix the glass first. Let me fix the glass. Fix the glass, then we test. So the glass has been fixed, as you can see. 2 bolts down that holds the glass in place. So let's test. Wow, let's look at our work. Goes up, completes the cycle, comes down, it goes up. If it's before, by now it should have stopped working. See, that's completed 2 cycles. Let's go to the 3rd one. Wow, 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 wow. That's a very good job. So be careful of this cable. Be very careful of this cable. Very, very careful of this cable. This cable can make your job untidy if it gets broken. So that is what you use to lock the doors and also to open the door. So be very careful of those cables. Okay? So we're almost through. We did this together. Thanks guys for working with me. It's always a pleasure working with you guys. The screws, we also have to fix back the screws to make sure that the door is firm. Like I said, they have different sizes, so it's very important that you take note of each one and where it is being placed. Okay, we're almost there. Everything, just take note when you are losing them. You will not have problem when you are fixing them back. All right. Okay, so we can cut the camera here. It's just the normal tightening of these things. Okay, let me still run you guys through on it. Well, we're working this together, so let's just do it together. Okay. So there's a screw here and the door opener. I think we're almost through. Almost through. This should be the last screw. Okay, there are 2 under. But we can just get to the point where we are through in this work. It's just the normal screws. So let's cut it. All right. So everything is well fixed. Okay. So let's test the job. Let's see if it will go a number of cycles without stopping. It's going up, got to the top, and let's go down. 1 cycle. Let's do the 2nd cycle. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This job is okay. So that's it, guys.